Hello everyone. Today, continuing from the last lesson, we will learn the 42 style Tai Chi sword. In the last lesson, we learned the wedge part pressing the key. Today, we will continue from the wedge part pressing the key. This is the third segment, which also has 7 movements. Starting from the slant part, pressing the line and continuing from there, achieving this angle after the point. Now, I will demonstrate these movements for everyone first. The evil cannot suppress the ki, right? Starting from here, begin from the knee down to the shoulder, keeping the shoulder straight and adjusting this line here. Press down here, lift up to challenge the shoulder, lift it up, and below is the toe. These are 3 toes, 1 step for each foot. Do you see it? 1, 2, 3, bring it back. Raise the knee to the side. Virtual step, next segment. Next, I will explain this. Breakdown of movements to everyone again. Hey, look, this is the evil. Not pressing the sword, right? After getting up, give this sword. Lift it up and start with the toes. This is 1. This step is 1 foot. 2, 3. The toes are not just about the wrist movement. It's not just the wrist. Everyone needs to practice. After lifting, it's not like this. 1, 2, 3. It's not like that. It relies on you. A change in the waist is brought out. It is like this. Literally lift it up. After finishing the 3 toes, immediately lift the thrusting sword. Actually, this direction is southwest. Right. You saw it for the first time. Right. The next move is to connect to the empty step. Look, I don't have the fabric here. The sword goes this way. Empty step connection. What about this virtual step down to conclude? This body position is still in the southwest direction. And when you turn back, it is in the northwest direction. You see it, right. I want to demonstrate these movements in the opposite direction and explain them again. You see, starting from the learning without the sword, lift it up, right, 123. Lift the knee to thrust, the must part. The next section, this key needs to not drop. And within the 32 movements, there is this virtual step down to conclude. This hand is in front of your forehead. And after this key falls back, it should be aligned with your thigh, which is this big thigh. And it needs to remain parallel. To keep it parallel, you need to turn back. This is such a movement. Next time, we will start with this. Right, left, flat belt. Right, left, flat belt. The virtual step down to conclude, right. Let's see. Lift it up. Lift it up. You see, bring it over, pull it back, send it out, bring it over. This stepping method is all in the diagonal direction, all in the diagonal direction, these 2 belts. The virtual part is under the conclusion. Please look at the question. Pull back and send towards the west. This step often goes towards the southwest, bringing it over. These are 2 left and right flat belts. See? Raise the west, raise it up, bring it over, pull back, and send it in the next segment. This part is like a reflux style. After raising the ship, it goes up. This is a downward cut towards the due west, a downward cut towards the due west. Raise the knee. 1 section, raise the knee. one section. This raise the knee, one section. The direction of raising the knee is not this knee. It is not the correct knee. You see, we'll demonstrate this action towards you. You see, it starts from here, and this action is called Dingbu, dragging the sword. But there is a barrier in front of his house. This is a transitional action. Ha ha ha. Raise a knot. See? Now my position has turned to this direction. Turn to this diagonal direction. This key is also in a diagonal direction. What direction is this position? If it is a right-handed knight, the direction to raise the knee is northwest, and the direction to receive the sword is northeast. Ah, this is the direction. P, go out, you see. Jai, did you see? She is here. Look, I see Jai here. The angle between them is 90 degrees. Did you see? This is the direction, the next world. This is a transitional action. This action is called Dingbu, dragging the sword. For neck cramps, we still do it from this side. We still do it from this side. P has gone out, right? Look. After dragging the sword, lift the sword up. Step forward at a diagonal in front of your body. Don't step straight forward in front of your body. Lift the top up. Step forward diagonally, you see. Hook your foot on this key and pass through here, then turn around. Thrust out. Do you see? These are all transitional movements. Let me see. I'll sit this way, sit that way, so everyone can see clearly. Starting from this cemetery, you see, raising the knee and forming the sword is a transitional movement. This movement is called the ding step with shoulder drag. Initially, step sideways to thrust the sword at him. Bring it back. Pull it up. At this moment, it is also lifted, and the sword has also dropped to perform an after-point split. The action of the after-point split is called the after-point split. Yes, the after-point split. Now, this is it. I will explain this direction to everyone. When practicing, everyone often finds it hard to gauge this direction, from this. Start striking with the toes like this. The toes begin to connect. The direction for a right-handed knight is southwest. It's the southwest direction. When you do this knee raise, the last virtual part is also in the southwest direction. When you do this right-left platform, after raising the sword, this angle often goes towards the northwest direction, moving towards the northwest like this, retracting the feet, sending the sword towards the northwest. This step is also towards the southwest direction. Not that southwest direction, but bringing the steps back. This is all. The forward step is towards the true west direction. Then a backward counterflow step. All of this is towards the true west direction. All towards the true west direction. You see, the knee raise in the true west direction is one section. This section, the knee, is in the northwest direction, and the sword is in the northeast direction. With a top support. This nailed wooden piece, in this competition path, its required position is slightly to the north. Slightly to the west? Yes, slightly to the west. So, if you are doing it just slightly off, that's the body position. However, we are not participating in this. This competition activity, you see, for us elderly people, it's mainly for fitness. So just facing north is fine, because the deviation is very small, just a slight adjustment. If the deviation is too small, then after you finish, just face north. Just drag like this. If you drag towards the north, what about your next movement? You see, as for the turn, the angle can be a bit smaller and easier to manage. You see, this is lifted up, right? This is a wooden support. Look at the direction of the antennae. Don't let them point this way. If the feet go this way, it will form a straight line and you won't be able to stand steadily. Initially, you see the foot button is here, and in China, it comes out like this. It has come out, you see, after you step over, then pull the arrow back. Okay, over 600. After pulling the arrow back, this step should be brought next to your foot. You see, raising the knee, the sword is pulled like this, and the sword point should follow your sword mark. Just slide down like this, but don't stick too close while sliding. If you stick too close, it will damage your fitness equipment. Pull it up. La 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 la. When they pull forward together, they spread it out, right? So how is this part done? Now my arrow is here, and at this moment, I'm still holding it here. The knee is also raised. This arrow is at the back. Just point it a bit behind you. This is to create an angle. This is to do an upward point. See, it's like this. Pull it up. Hey, do it again, and it didn't stick. Pull it up, split the feet back. It's such a movement. Hey. Next, I will demonstrate these movements in the opposite direction for everyone in a continuous manner. Hey, we will stop here for this section. See you in the next section.